This is the video or the data that we're going to collect for the Measuring Volume Lab. The first thing we're going to do is to measure the length, the height, and the width of this die. And then you can calculate the volume by multiplying the length times the width times the height. So I'm going to measure this, and this is, the width is 1.45 centimeters. So the width is 1.45 centimeters. And the height is 1.50 centimeters. And then the depth is 1.55. So these are our measurements for the dice. You can calculate the volume by multiplying this, and your answer should be in centimeters cubed. Centimeters cubed is also a way of saying milliliters or cubic centimeters, cc's, and that's used in injections, if you've ever had an injection. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to measure the volume using displacement. So this is Archimedes' principle. Oops, I need to flip this around. And it's really hard to see this because it's so clear. So the first thing we have to do is we need to measure the initial volume. So the initial volume, which is VI, okay. So we read the bottom of the meniscus, and this is, it's really hard for me to see. So this is 40 and this is 50, but it's not quite 50. So this is 45, 6, 7, 8. 48 point, I'd say 8 milliliters. So the initial volume is 48.8 milliliters. I'm going to drop the die in there. Okay. And because the die has volume, it displaced the water. And now the final volume, which is VF, I'll show you these in a minute, is 53.5 milliliters. Okay. So those are our measurements to determine the volume of the die. So now what you need to do is understand what the displacement is and how you determine the volume of that die by using these two numbers. So this is the volume after you put in the die. This is the volume before you put in the die. So the difference between these two numbers is going to tell you the volume of the die. Please finish the handout that is on Google Classroom. You can also go to the lab on the LibreText to understand a little bit more of what you're doing.